My name is Madison Barra, and welcome to my podcast, where it's all about teaching you how to lose weight, keep it off, and actually enjoy the process. I've lost over 70 pounds, and these are the failures and lessons I've learned along the way. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. So today I want to share something with you that absolutely melted my heart in the best of ways, and this was something I really needed a reminder for. And this is something that is going to give you so much comfort on your weight loss journey if you are just having a hard time. And this is going to put everything into perspective for you. It is going to allow you to exhale and continue on. And so I want to start this call by sharing a story with you. And I just heard this story and it warmed my heart and I have to share it. So it's this story of this Chinese farmer, and they lived on this land in this town, and it was the farmer, his son, and a horse. Now, one day, this horse ran away, and they lost their horse. And then everybody in the town, they came to say sorry to the farmer, and they're like, "Oh man, this is such bad news. So sorry. I'm so sorry." And the farmer says, "We'll see." And the next day, the horse comes riding back to the farm, and he brought a friend. He found a stray horse, a wild horse, and brought it back to the farm. And then the whole town comes and sees him, and he says, "Wow, this is such good news." And the farmer says, "We'll see." And then the next day, that farmer's son, has to go and train that new horse. And while he's trying to train him and riding him and teaching him, the horse throws him off, the son lands and breaks his back. Again, the town goes to the farmer and said, "Such bad news, I'm so sorry." And the farmer says, "We'll see." And then next day, the military came into town and they said they were going to enlist all able-bodied men. The farmer says, "My son's just broken his back." The town rejoices and says, "What good news?" And the farmer says, "You guessed it. We'll see." And so the moral of the story is you can go on and on and on like that through every single thing that happens in your life. When we think it's good, we'll see. When we think it's bad, we'll see. And the wheels just keep turning and life just keeps going on. And so if we look at it like that, if we look at your entire journey from the moment you were conscious of your body, conscious of your weight, unhappy with your weight, wanting to make changes or improvements, from the moment that started to where you are in this exact moment in time, we can say there's no such thing as bad news. It is just how we view it. As the farmer would say, we'll see. Could be good, could be bad, could just be another puzzle piece in the big puzzle that is your life. Could be another brush stroke in the painting that is your entire life. Just because of what you're going through right now doesn't mean that it's not all going to make sense. Just because you're struggling with your weight doesn't mean one day that struggle will come back in a good way and you'll understand, "Oh, I needed that. I needed that." Think about all the awesome Disney movies you watched. And what are the best ones? The ones where you're on the edge of your seat and the hero is struggling and we don't know if he's going to make it. That's the most exciting story, the most exciting movies, the most exciting adventure. It's when there's so many obstacles and challenges, yet we still rise up and we keep going. Because it is not inherently good or inherently bad. It just is. And if we keep on keeping on, we'll see. And one day you will see. And so there's no such thing as bad news. And I know that is a very, very bold statement because there is bad news. There's things we don't want to hear. But how is viewing them as bad helpful? Because there could be something good around the corner in the next day, in the next hour, in the next second. It is all about the perspective that you take looking at your journey and the steps that have been along this journey that will show you what it takes. If it was easy as starting, getting to your goal, and finishing, there would be no need for me to be a coach. Everybody could figure it out themselves. But that's not happening because people listen to this podcast and I get thousands of women from around the world joining our programs. It's because we need that perspective shift. That's one of the biggest things that I see people struggling with, because when you start a journey, does it even make logical sense that it's going to go great? It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be so amazing. Does that even make logical sense? No. And we know that, but then when we're in it, we forget that. And bad feels bad, but we'll see. It'll all be revealed in time to you, whether or not that was good, that was bad. And I don't even like to look at things good and bad. There just are. This is just life. And you are accumulation of your experiences, whether the experiences give you joy and good memories, or the experiences give you lessons and you and new appreciations and different perspective shifts and all of that. It's just that farmer is calm. That farmer has got control of his mind, and that farmer is way happier than a majority of the people that I know. Because instead of reacting, you just respond. Instead of thinking good and bad, we think it's not black and white. It's all gray. Life's a gray area. And that's okay. And this story to me was so beautiful because it reminds us to slow down and not judge things based off of our emotions in the moment. You never know why something needed to happen. You don't know what the universe is planning for you, what it is trying to teach you or yell at you or get you to learn and grow. I never, ever would have become a coach. I never would have been able to help thousands of women around the world. I never would have helped women lose 100 pounds, 90 pounds, 80 pounds, 50, 60, 70. I would have never been able to help these women save their marriages, save their health, reverse their fatty liver disease, cope with their arthritis and fibromyalgia. I would never have been able to save these lives if I didn't struggle myself. And if I go and I remember my darkest times and how I felt in that moment, I didn't think there was hope. I didn't think there was a light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't think I'd figure it out. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't know why it would happen. I was mad that the bad thing happened, which made me feel even worse than just the bad thing happening alone. But if I could go back, I would not change a single tear that I cried. I cried a lot. I would not change one single heartache. I would not change one struggle. I would not change any of it, because without my intense suffering and struggles with my own weight, with my own health, with my own self-confidence, if I did not experience that, I could not save other women's lives. I could not help them through their trials. I could not help them overcome their obstacles. I could not help them become better and then them save their families. I wouldn't be able to do that if I did not inherently suffer. And so I do not regret it. I do not resent it. I am not bitter for it. And when it presents itself again to me, I do not get overwhelmed. I do not get disheartened. I say, okay, this is about to make me stronger so I can help even more people, so I can make even bigger of an impact. I would not be able to help women on such a truly deep, permanent level, changed forever, if I did not seriously suffer for years, 20 years, trying to find an answer and failing again and again, feeling useless, feeling ugly, feeling fat, feeling unhealthy, feeling out of breath, feeling of never fitting any of my clothes, never wanting to go out in public, eating until I puked because I couldn't control myself. I was so lost, and I wouldn't change it. Really quick, you guys know that I do not run any ads or try to sell you anything on this podcast. The only thing that I would ever ask of you is that you help me spread the word so that I can help more women lose weight, keep it off, live a healthy life, and love themselves in the process. And the only way that we can make that happen is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing that I would ask from you is if you could please leave a review. It'll take about 10 seconds. It would mean the world to me, but more importantly, it could change the world for somebody else. Back to the podcast. Because if somebody just came back in those times and said, We'll see. If someone told me after I said, I'm having such a hard time, and they just said, we'll see. Sometimes that's all we need, is just a reminder that this is supposed to be happening. If you're in a dark, rough spot right now, it's supposed to be happening. I'm sorry that you are struggling. I am sorry you are upset. I'm sorry you're discouraged and disheartened. I'm sorry you can't find the answers. I'm sorry that you feel so overwhelmed. I'm sorry. But we'll see. You're being forged in the fire right now. Can we find some excitement in that? Can we find a silver lining in that? Can we react like that Chinese farmer did? Because I can guarantee you, I've been on my journey. I've lost over 80 pounds and I've helped thousands of women, like I've said before, lose weight. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I've seen this journey play out thousands of times in myself and other women. I've seen this journey play out, and I can tell you, not one single woman had a goal and then reached their goal, and just like that, it was a straight line. Never. It's going to be a damn zigzag. Zigzag, diagonals, curlies, everything. It's tough. But it's worth it. And it's not always tough. But in those tough times, that's when you are really made. That's when you really show what you're made of. That's when you really see, oh, am I making changes, or can I only make changes when life is going good? When life is going easy, when it's convenient, when I don't got much going on. Because that's not when it counts. I really don't care what you're able to do when life is easy, quote unquote. We want to work on, what can you do? What can you hold on to when life is trying to beat you down? It's doing it on purpose. Life beats you down on purpose. When you ask for strength, the universe doesn't give us strength. The universe gives us opportunities that make us strong. When we ask the universe for patience, we don't magically get patience. We're presented opportunities where we have to practice our patience. When we ask for our family to become closer together, our family doesn't become closer together. We're tested and pulled apart to see how strong we can pull back together. That's how this journey works. Please do not give up. Do not throw everything away because there was a hiccup. And if that hiccup feels like a complete failure, I promise you it is not. It is literally just a hiccup. If you expand your view, if we zoom out, this little blip could be the defining moment of your life. This blip, this downfall, this heartache could be the very thing that turns you into that best version of you that you always had in your head, you've always been fantasizing about, that you always knew you wanted to reach, you could reach. If only I could lose the weight, I'd do this. If only I could lose the weight, I'd feel like this. I could wear this. I'd be like this. I'd have this marriage. I'd have this family. If only can start now. If you shift your perspective to we'll see. Don't label what you're going through. Don't give it that power. Don't label it as good or bad. Just label it as is. This is what I'm going through right now. This is my journey. This is my path. I'm where I am supposed to be, whether I like it or not. Listen to that again. You are where you need to be, whether you like that fact or you don't like hearing that fact. You are where you are supposed to be. And the sooner we stop wallowing about it, we stop feeling bad about it, and we sit and we extract everything we can from it, then we can actually get out of it faster. By stewing in it, that's making things worse. What can we take out of this, if not only that I got back up and kept going? At the end of the day, if you can't figure out what's going on, why is this happening? Why me? At the end of the day, if you really can't find a why, at least you got up and kept trying. That's your why, to prove to you that you take this serious, that even if you get knocked down, you'll get back up, that nothing in life can stop you from getting to this goal. These are things that need to be proven to us in life. Do you think you're going to have a happy, amazing, fulfilling life if you don't truly know what you're capable of? if you haven't proven to yourself that you can overcome obstacles and reach big goals, if you're missing those two things in life, if you haven't proven to yourself that you can reach goals, or proven to yourself that doesn't matter how hard things get, you still keep trying, that's all you need in life. Those two things in your life. If you don't have a laundry list of evidence backing up those 2 points, then you will be miserable. Because what is life about? If it's not about becoming the best version of you and constantly striving for better. Life is boring without that. We don't read storybooks that have no villains. We don't. It's boring. We're not going to watch a movie of people just frolicking through a field and they don't have any troubles in their life. I'm telling you, and I want you to hear me, because I'm, in a way, speaking to the old version of me. And I wish someone told me this. There's no such thing as failing. How can you fail if you just don't stop trying? How can you not reach your goal? If you get up again tomorrow morning and we just try again, even if we don't know what we're doing, even if we don't know if it's working, even if we know it's not working, you still got up and proved to yourself that you're trying. And that is invaluable. That is invaluable. That is priceless. Nobody can put a price tag on self-efficacy, believing in yourself, truly believing in yourself. And truly believing in yourself only comes from proving what you can do. Proving how resilient and determined and disciplined and focused. Aren't those beautiful words? Aren't those beautiful words? Don't you want to be described that way? Disciplined and focused and resilient. Those are like elite words. Strive for them. Embody them, even if we fail sometimes, even if we can't always be that person. Maybe we're not always resilient. Resilient doesn't mean nothing phases you. Resilient means, oh, I got beat down and I got back up. Disciplined doesn't mean always being consistent. It means, oh, I know it needs to get done and I find my way back to that path. These are things we want to be described as. That's how we want people to view us. And that's how we want to view ourselves. And I guess this is just a message that I really wanted to say to my old self, my younger self. Everything you're going through has a purpose, and it will all make sense, and it will all click. And as much as you wish it wasn't happening right now, one day you'll be so glad that it did. And if that resonates with anybody listening right now, tell yourself that. Write it in a journal. Post it on your mirror. It will all make sense. We'll see. We'll see. You're a powerhouse. You can do anything. Just give it time. And the answers always come. Seriously. Everything is a we'll see opportunity. Don't count yourself out before you get to see. If you found this podcast valuable, I hope you leave us a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about the Fit Queen way of weight loss, visit www.fitqueen.com. Thank you for listening, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another episode.